Hello everybody, thank you guys so much for wanting to spend some time with me and joining me on this conversation. Y todo lo que tengo aquí solo para llevar vida. Hi, how are you? It's been so long, guys. I honestly apologize. Like, little update, because I'm gonna do an actual video on an update as to why I went MIA for a little. But to sum it up, I honestly did not want to go MIA. I honestly got too focused on my single salon suite, as much would like to call it. But I got too focused on that, and I told myself that I was not going to have two websites because it was going to be too much for me to handle. So I didn't want to juggle two websites, and I just ended up focusing on my hair page, which make sure you guys book an appointment with me if you guys are interested. But to sum it up, that's what happened. Today's topic, today's video is not an update as to what's been going on in life. I kind of want to mainly make this video about mental health and just, everything around that, because I feel like not a lot of people understand when it comes to these topics. Of course, we see a lot of posts. Of course, we see a lot of memes about check up on your friends, check up on your loved ones. You never know who's going through it. No matter how much you talk to a person, no matter how much you try to give your all, you're like trying to get them out of that dark space, that dark zone. It's hard when you're that person in that moment, and not a lot of us have the willpower and the mentality to get out of that. Some of us don't even make it past that dark zone. To me, checking in with your mental is very important. It's good to seek somebody who you confide in and you trust in to be able to bounce ideas off of or even vent to, because a lot of us sometimes we're stuck in this dark zone that we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. We've all been through a depressing stage. Can't nobody tell me not, okay? We've all been there, and a lot of us are stronger than others. Unfortunately, some of us know of people who have passed away due to traumatic experience and not being able to mentally sustain themselves to be able to surpass something. So I'm here to tell you that you gotta be strong. It doesn't matter how much people tell you, oh no, it's gonna be okay, you're gonna get through this, it's just a rough patch or whatever. You can hear all of these stuff, but when you're the one going through it, all you see is darkness and darkness and darkness. Like, you cannot see anything past that. So to be able to get past that, you're not listening to nobody. It's going in one ear and out the other ear. You got to be able to want to take yourself out of that. Only you can save yourself. And this is why I love that quote that states, no one is coming to save you, sis. You got to save yourself. I don't know who said that quote, but it's something like that. So I'm a very fond believer in that, because nobody in this lifetime is coming to save you. And it's true. Can't nobody help you but yourself. And you got to want to do it for yourself. So it's easier said than done. Granted, guaranteed, but checking in on your loved ones is always going to be a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But that might not do it for a lot of people. Just because you're constantly checking up on somebody, that doesn't matter, Like, I could only speak through my own experience. For what I could remember, I was very young at the time. We were very young at the time. And this is honestly why I'm bringing up this topic of discussion, because her birthday was literally yesterday, and there's not one year that goes by that I do not remember this beautiful soul. Like, when I tell you a beautiful soul, like, she was one of a kind. Like, I never encountered somebody so wise, so pure, so like woken. Like, she was very woken, and that's what I was not during the time of our friendship. Looking back on things and reminiscing, I'm just like, wow. All I was thinking about at the time was, partying, getting lit, having fun. And, she would just honestly tag along, because in this world, how I see it, my experience, my beautiful freaking friend Shanel, she was my girlfriend. That's first and foremost. Like, that was my girl. Like, we was up and down the streets, out and about, every single place, every single where. Like, that's first and foremost. But the way I could describe this girl is literally, she was a lost soul in this world. I honestly believe she was a lost soul, and looking back at time, I wish that I could have been the one to hold her more and be like, it's okay, we're gonna make it out of this, or like, you don't have to feel alone, or like, I just wish that I was more wise, more woken to be able to speak to her in a level where we could have communicated, and I possibly could have saved her from a lot of like trauma and hurt. But I wasn't as woke as she was at that moment. And this is why, like, you need to go through life experiences, and you need to be able to shed a lot of layers in life to be able to gain a sense of maturity and view life in a different perspective. I know, like, a lot of people reach this point when they have a kid. I don't even have a kid, and I think so, like, wisely in this lifetime right now. So I can only imagine like how a parent should feel, honestly. Not a lot of parents do feel, but like you view life differently after you have a kid, because it's like, you know, their childhood depends on you, their upbringing depends on you, someone is dependent on you. So that's something very different, that, you know, your mindset changes when something happens, or even if somebody in your life that you were close to passes away. Impacted me. It really shed a layer in me that had me thinking very different in life. Like, this is not a game, this is not something you play around with, and if you play around, you might find out, because it's so easy to get swooped up into this dark path, this dark era where you feel so alone, but it's so easy to also just keep walking and just go towards the light. But you got to be able to seek that and surpass that for yourself. Nobody is coming to save you but yourself. I take mental health very serious after her passing, because I've never endured yeah, I don't even want to reminisce this song. I'd rather just talk about mental health. Yeah, I don't want to talk about her. Alright, I don't want to get too much into details about my friend, because I still miss that. So, you know, when a relative passes away that your mom was close to, it's a different kind of hurt than when you were close to that person that passed away. So whenever I would cry, or whenever I would, you know, find out that somebody had passed away, a family member, a relative, or, you know, a extension of the family, I would mainly cry, or I would mainly feel sad for my parents, or whatever family member that was at the time that was feeling that grief. I'm also the person that gets secondhand, like, emotion. Like, you start crying, I'm gonna start crying. We gonna start crying. Like, it don't matter. Like, I could watch a video of something so sad and I'm gonna start crying. So that's really just how it is. But it's different when you're feeling your own emotions, when you are internally just hurt. So me experiencing that passing of my friend, I swear to God, that was the worst feeling I've ever encountered when it came to, like, losing somebody. And which is crazy, because at the time, at the moment, me and her, we were not as close. And this is why, like, I value friendships to a different extent now, because if I, you know, give you some time, if we're borrowing each other's time, that means that, you know, it's sacred. It's something very sacred, and you should never take for granted whenever somebody chooses to spend some time with you, because that's something very sacred and intimate, regardless if it's a friendship, if it's, you know, your spouse, whatever it is, your sibling, it doesn't matter. That's an intimate moment that you guys both chose to be there presently at the same time and willingly wanting to spend some time with each other. So I could never understand grudges. I could never understand, like, you know, people who hate each other and dislike each other, or people who just have that malicious bad blood, because we're here for a short time. Let's try to make it the best time, and let's stop going tit for tat with each other and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately and sadly, we live on hell. So, like, this is literally hell on earth, and a lot of us commit sins, unfortunately. So this is what we need to transpire. But this is why God is here to save a lot of us. And if you read the word of God, whatever your religion is, I'm not too religious, honestly. Don't quote me. But I still have a faith. I still have a belief system. So that to me is enough. So with that being said, if you have the will to be good, you are going to do good, and good things will happen to you, and good things will transpire in your life. But if you're out here playing tit for tat, if you doing the most, if you holding grudges, for what? Like, all of us just need to start healing. And I'm not gonna lie, it comes a point in time where you gotta sit down by yourself and just analyze and think, what do you want out of this life? Like, what is your purpose? What is your meaning? And this is really what I need all of us to question and ask ourselves. God gives his strongest battles to his strongest warriors, and I'm a fond believer of that, because a lot of people could not walk in the shoes that I'm walking. And that is a given, and that is a fact. So if you could be able to maneuver your emotions and just know how to navigate in life, you're winning in life. Why do we care about what anybody else thinks? Why? La gente van a hablar como quiera. La gente van a hablar como quiera. When it comes to mental health, I know a lot of us seek therapists, and I know a lot of us sometimes we don't believe in therapists, but to me, at least try it and experience it once. And I know that it's not something that a lot of us have you know, the tools to reach to, or, you know, the funds to be able to fund a therapist, but it's something that is very important. Sometimes you don't even have to seek a therapist. Like, whatever your therapy may be, whether that's working, or whether that's working out, or, you know, going on a vacation, or whatever it is that's gonna get your mental in a sense where it could meditate and just USA and you could feel good and just, you know, feel better about yourself. Whatever that is that's gonna help you, you gotta be able to explore those journeys to be able to see what's gonna get you out that dark zone. And that's what's gonna honestly help you. So I feel like this is a topic that a lot of us don't talk about, because I feel like if you were born in a Caribbean household or parents that have an old mentality, mental health is not a thing. Like, and that's one thing that in this day and age is a given and proven thing. So if you grew up in a Caribbean household, or, you know, if you're first generation, your family was outside hustling, trying to make some money to keep the roof over their kids' head. So when it comes to mental health, that's looked over the head in households like that. So it's understandable why in our adulthood we might be having to seek therapists, or, you know, we might be seeing some type of traumatic experience. Our behavior drift in a sense, in a way, and we're questioning it now, you know? So yeah, before I wrap up this video, mental health is very important. Even if you need to buy your little emotional support pet, he's a big boy, honestly, but this is why I got him, because I wanted to make sure that I hug something whenever, like, you know, and he's not even at his full capacity, so he's definitely gonna grow more. So yeah, make sure that you guys are all mentally checking in on yourself. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys like this video. Let me know how you guys feel. Make sure you interact with me in the comments below, and share this video to somebody. Maybe you might be able to help somebody surpass something, or make somebody more woke or open-minded. I don't know, but to me, we're all in this together. High School Musical. So make sure you guys do that. Share the video, like it, comment. Thank you. And this is how I know my beautiful friend is always nearby, because I have not seen this view like this in so long. Look at this freaking sunset. Are you kidding me? It's crazy. Literally right after filming. Thank you guys for watching.